Alright guys, just leaving that Goodwill. You saw I have Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Man, my heart stopped. I thought I was going to get a hell of a deal. But I opened it up and there was no game. So I asked the lady and she sold it to me for $1. So yeah, in case we ever come across the disc, or if somebody needs this, you know, we can sell it or trade it or whatever. Kind of upset because she said yesterday, I asked her if they had any more games, which, you know, is game hunting 101. And she goes, yeah, well, we had them yesterday, which is always the case for me. I'm like never there on the day anymore when the games come out. And that's when you have to be there. I know I've talked about that before, but man, she was like, yeah, they had some Super Nintendo games. They had the Marios with an S, so I'm sure there are some great titles. And she said they had the Donkey Kong games, which are awesome games. I'm actually missing Donkey Kong 2, but all right, well, we just started off our day. That's the first pickup of the day. And we're going to hit up some other thrift stores. So we'll see what happens. Bye. Alright guys, check this out of my thrift store. Texas Instrument home computer. Look at that thing. TI-99. Looks like it's got the controllers and the hookups and everything else. So. $50. So if you're into that, come on down to the thrift store. What's going on, people inside of my internet machine? My name is Chris Miller and welcome to episode 10. Episode 10. Unbelievable. 10 episodes already. I don't know what to say, but thank you to everybody that watches and subscribes. Yeah, so we'll get right into it. So on the pre-intro there, we went to Goodwill. It's the exact same Goodwill that last time we found the Shenmue 2 manual that was just kind of in the DVD case there or whatever. But man, my heart stopped. I was going through and saw Fire Emblem for the GameCube. And when I picked it up, I kind of knew, because you could tell, but I picked it up and opened it and no game. Sorry guys, that would have been a really big score. That might have been our biggest score on this channel so far if we would have found that complete, in the box there. But it's the cover art, the GameCube case, and the manual. So for 99 cents, so like $1.06, we were able to pick that up. So like I said, in case we run across that game in the future, or if I run into a future collector that needs that, we can figure out something to do with it. It won't go to waste, that's for sure. Man, I tell you what, and the highs and lows associated with thrift store game hunting are similar to that a gambler may encounter, because that rush of getting a win is always going to negate the 10, 20, 30, 100 losses, and that one big win will keep you going, for a long time. So, we found that Fire Emblem album. And we were getting kind of down, man, because like I said, it's been like a month since I've actually bought a video game at a Goodwill or a thrift store, just because there was nothing out there. So go to a thrift store that I frequent, and it's the same place that I found all those GameCube games for $1.50 in previous episode, Smash Bros. And Wind Waker and all that. And I looked down on the counter at where they keep all their video games and see a black GameCube. Now the price on that was $15, and it did come with the power cord, and it came with a set of audio video wires, but it wasn't the GameCube audio video wires. They were just your standard dual-sided, both male and audio video component cables. So I have a box where I just tie those down and throw them in a box in case I need them. So $15 for a GameCube with a power cord. I'll find the correct audio video cable, and of course I've got plenty of controllers that I find at Goodwill's for $2 or $3. So we'll bundle this together and we'll try and get $30 out of it. But one thing, when you go to thrift stores and if you see GameCubes on the shelves, usually they got that stuff on top and it's like taped over. Rip that tape off and look inside. Because when I got in the car and I looked inside, copy of Mario Party 7. Now, again, it's disc only, but I can always go to the coverproject.net and print off a cover and find a case for it, and that'll hold me over until I actually find a real case for it. So at the thrift store, and we see that, and I'm like, well, if there's a GameCube here, more likely than not, there's going to be some games. And there were. They had a bunch of games. Unfortunately, a lot of them were sports titles, NBA, baseball games, that kind of stuff. They did have a copy of Sonic Mega Collection, which I already have. It's a great game if you ever find it. But they had a copy of Sonic Mega Collection that they wanted $5 for, and it's really like a $10 game, and it's kind of not really worth the hassle to, whatever. In hindsight, I probably should have bought it just because it would trade well. But we did pick up a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmares, and this is in fantastic shape. It's one of the 2-disc versions. Comes complete with the manual, and yeah, okay, so it was like $5. We'll get to that in a minute, but that's like a $20-$25 game. So that'll go right in my collection because I love, Ninja Turtle stuff. But and then the last thing that we picked up, you'll see on some other people's channels, they pick up certain other things, like calculators or, like clocks or books or something like that they don't really collect, but they buy them because they know that they're valuable and they can sell them real quick. And then they can use that money that they've, gotten, and they can put it back into their game collection. So one thing that I'm starting to find out a little bit more about and learn about is PC games. So I saw this on the shelf, and I knew because talking with my friend out in Newark at Craig, he said if you find this game complete, buy it 100% of the time, and he has no problem giving me $40 for it. Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth. And again, it was $4.50, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's a PC game. It's got the manual, and I don't know if you can tell, there's 6 discs in here. So those 6 discs make it complete. Now, this game is still selling on eBay. If you go on eBay right now, this game is still selling for somewhere between $50 and $60. So like $49.99 up to like 62 something. So if you ever see complete copies of some of these PC games, especially these Lord of the Rings games, now again, they have to be complete. You have to know a little bit about them because unlike the PlayStation games, it doesn't say like, 6-disc set or anything on the back there. But yeah, so extremely happy to find that. So I go up to pay, and she rings me up, and I don't know if you can see my total here. I don't know if it's going to come through because of the... Oh, perfect. All right, so my total was $17.20. And that seemed kind of odd to me because, the GameCube was $15 by itself, but whatever. It should have been somewhere close to like $25. So I get home, and I really didn't think about it until I got home. But I got home and I looked on the receipt. They charged me $15 for the GameCube, and then they charged me 50 cents for each game. They red tagged it. So, yeah, so I got those games like dirt cheap, and that's just gonna increase the profit margin on the Lord of the Rings game. So, all right, guys, I'm doing this video like the 2 days, maybe 2 or 3 days after I posted my last video. So again, it's amazing how you go from outhouse to penthouse, and then from the penthouse right back down to the damn outhouse. But made a Craigslist sale. Well, I actually bought something on Craigslist. So I didn't make a sale. I purchased something. So for $20, picked up our second console, I believe, of the year. A Nintendo 64 with one controller. And it did come with all the cables, the cables and the cords, which is on a bag on the floor. I'm not going to show you those because you should know what an N64 power cable looks like, and, obviously what the AV cables look like. This, unfortunately, did not have the expansion pack. It just has the 4 megabyte jump pack. So, I'll clean that up. Like I said, I paid $20 for that. It was complete. So what I'll do is I'll take that all apart. I'll clean it up, and then I'll put it online for put it on Craigslist for like $40. I'll just try and flip it real quick. So yeah, you can put some money in the bank for the CorgsCon, which is coming up here at the end of May, and I'll get to that either later on in this episode or the episode after, as we move closer and closer to our big convention here in Columbus. All right, so without further ado, we stopped by the buybacks and picked up a game I talked about last time, Castle Shikigami 2 for the PlayStation 2. Now, I paid $14 for it. It's really only like a $10 game, but whatever. All right, so there's our receipt. Big whoop. Complete with the manual. Definitely excited to get this one. If you don't know anything about Castle Shikigami, it's a shoot 'em up series. It's pretty interesting. It might be a little different than the shoot 'em ups that you're used to playing. This is a top-down shooter, but you don't really get power-ups in the level per se. You kind of select your weapon arrangement at the beginning of the level, and also as the enemies are shooting at you, if you can get close enough to the enemy bullets that when you shoot back, because you're so close to their bullets, I think it's called bullet grazing, I think is the actual term, that as their ammunition, their bullets are flying past you, if you get super close to them, you scrunch in real close, then your return fire is more powerful. So again, Castle Shikigami 2, check it out if you're into shoot 'em ups and stuff like that. Now, like I said, the voice acting is a little suspect, but whatever. All right, guys. So that'll be like the first half of the video. I'm going to get some of this stuff cleaned up and flipped. Hopefully get some cash out of that so we can put some money back into the game collection. But I wanted to make sure that I showed it off, or shown it off. I showed it to you before I sent it out on its way. So I'm going to cut the video right here, and we will see you next time. All right, guys, as you can see, man, we had some freezing weather, and the roads are all like one sheet of glass. You kind of tell with the sheen coming off of it, the gleam from the street lights. Right now in Columbus, it's like 8 degrees, and it's almost midnight. So with the wind chill, you're probably looking at -10, -15 degrees out here right now. So yeah, you guys that used to live in the north or in the Midwest, I bet you guys don't miss this weather one effing bit, because it is miserable outside. Like you don't even want to go out to get your mail. You don't want to take the dogs out because it's so damn cold. But yeah, just thought that was kind of crazy. So all right, we'll head back to the game room. We'll see if we picked up anything else for the second half of the video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 10, part 2. Now, you guys saw in that video before this that, man, we've had some inclement weather here in the 614. Ohio weather is weird, man. Don't ever move here. It's like 75, 80 degrees one day, and then the next day it's snowing. It's bizarre. Midwest weather is crazy. But yeah, you get like 2 to 4 inches of snow, and then it rains and it becomes all slush. You know, and it kind of melts or whatever and becomes slush. And then the next day or 2 days later it freezes. And as you saw in the car, it was like 8 degrees, but actually outside it was like -10, -15. So yeah, it was crazy. We did manage to hit the thrift stores today. The Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, did a great job clearing off the roads and stuff like that. So I didn't really have a lot of coin to spend because I just got new brakes on the car and an oil change and all that stuff. So everybody knows how that goes. But that was $550 well spent, I guess. And yeah, so we had a couple thrift stores. But before we get into the finds, I want to rant about something, right? This isn't like a rant channel or anything like that. But let me know in the comment section down below if this has ever happened to you or you've ever had a similar situation. I don't sell stuff on eBay. I don't want to deal with the hassle. I don't want to deal with final sales fees. I don't want to deal with PayPal's fees. I don't want to deal with shipping. I don't want to deal with returns. I don't want to deal with the headache, basically. So I would rather sell my stuff on Craigslist. I get cash in hand. Now the downside is Craigslist is more of a localized market where eBay is a world market. eBay, you can get, eBay prices, right? You can get top dollar. Craigslist, you may not be able to get top dollar on everything. And it's also more of a negotiation than it is like an over-the-counter sale or something. But this is what happened. Okay. So I had an item that retails for about 50 bucks. I posted that item on Craigslist for 50 bucks, thinking that somebody would then email me and say, hey, would you take 35 for it, or would you take 40 for it? At which time I would have said, hell yeah, when do you want to meet and give me money? Right? That's the point of Craigslist. But like I said, this kind of happened to me 3 times already. Somebody emailed me from Craigslist after I posted, and they said, hey, you know, what you're asking for this item is absurd. You're never going to get it, and you should lower the price by $20, and that's going to be close to retail, which it's not. But this little idiot felt like it was his place to tell me what I should sell my stuff for. Okay. Now, hey, let's say it's a $10 item and I'm trying to get $1,000 for it on Craigslist. Every man cuts their own deal, right? Just let the person be, you know, either make an offer or don't even bother to email. So it's just bizarre. Maybe he was, you know, jealous that he didn't have that item, or that he couldn't afford that item. But, you know, hiding behind the anonymity of sending an anonymous Craigslist email, you know, is kind of coward in my book. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, if you watch A. Crosby 1099, almost every few episodes, you know, he mentions this stuff always sells eventually. Whatever you have for sale that's video game related, there's a buyer out there for it. They just haven't seen your post yet. And when they do, they're going to jump on it. So this particular $50 item, you know, I just sent this guy a nice email back. I was like, okay, thanks for your advice. And then 2 days later, I sold it for $50. So the person that bought it didn't even want to haggle. They were just like, I have to have this item. And, you know, there are so many people doing the retro video game thing, right? You know, there's so many of us that go garage sailing and thrift storing and, you know, Craiglisting and the whole thing, going to pawn shops, just everything, right? Everything that goes into being a retro game hunter person. But the problem is that half of these guys think they're like experts in video games, or, you know, video game pricing. And that may be. Anybody can go on eBay and look on prices. You know, anybody can download an app to their phone. I have one. It's a video game trader app. I love it. And look at it and go, oh yeah, this game is worth X amount of dollars. Well, in reality, it's only worth as much as somebody's going to pay for it. I think we all know that. That's basic economics. But, you know, it just kind of pissed me off a little bit that somebody's going to tell me, you know what I mean? Like go to somebody's garage sale and they've got clothes for 50 cents and be like, yeah, you probably should mark these down to 25 cents. I mean, the gall of somebody, like, whatever. All right, so let's just get into the pickups. So hit a couple Goodwills today. We struck out. The one Goodwill that I always go to, the kind of like the main Goodwill that I always go to, they haven't had new games in their game case for probably a month. And the ones that they did have are like sports titles, Dance Dance Revolution. If I see one more Leap Pad game, I'm going to freaking vomit. I'm tired of seeing Leap Pad and Leap Frog and Leap Stir games all over the place. So we head back to the thrift store that we got that GameCube from earlier, and that Ninja Turtles and Lord of the Rings. And they had a 3DS game, Madden NFL Football. That was $5. And that one's complete. Now, I don't have a 3DS, and my kids don't really play sports games, so my app said that game's worth about $22. So I'm going to throw it up on Craigslist for 20 and hope that somebody offers me 15, and I hope I don't get any nasty emails from some coward chicken shit who thinks he knows more about video games than I do. Which isn't that hard, because I don't really know that much about video games. All right, so we went to a couple more thrift stores. Didn't really have anything. Some of the highlights included a pink DS for $20. It seemed to be in good shape, but I don't really like to deal in DSs because the cartridge slots get worn out. They're just kind of a pain in the ass. Everybody has one. You know, there's plenty of them. You know, they're not really in demand, at least in my area. Saw a Wii Motion Plus. You know, that little adapter that goes on the Wii controller was still factory sealed in its tall box. It was $5. Thought about picking that up, you know, just to kind of display it because I've never used it. But yes, we passed on that. Ended up going to a pawn shop that I haven't gone to in a while. It's the same pawn shop that I actually picked up like Metal Slug and Soul Calibur 2 and all that stuff. That was in a previous episode. They had some Wii titles. Typically their Wii titles are just all commons. or non-exciting titles. But they want $10 for them. Like if they wanted $2 or $3, I would have bought more junk titles just to kind of fill up my collection. But I'm not really that big of a Wii collector. So I saw 3 titles, and they, like I said, they want $10 a piece. But I offered the guy, I said, hey man, how about, $25 cash, no BS. These are the 3 games I want. And interestingly enough, about pawn shops, here's, I guess, your tip of the week or whatever. But pawn shops, because they like to have high turnover in their inventory. They want to buy something for $1 and sell it for $5 within an hour and get it out, right? Because some guys work on commissions and all that kind of stuff. At least the ones that I know that work in our area. They get a percentage or a commission on what they sell. So the more they sell, the more commission. You get the idea. Again, basic economic stuff. But yeah, so I offered him $25 for these 3 Wii games. And he was like, heck yeah, show me the money. So I paid him $25. And we picked up New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Again, that one is complete with the manual. Not bad condition. I have a copy of this game. So we're going to go ahead and try and sell that off or trade it. And I hope I don't get any angry emails again on Craigslist. So make me cry. All right, the next title that we picked up is another game that I already have, but I wasn't going to leave it there. Donkey Kong Country Returns. That one is complete. That one's in really nice condition, and so is the Mario game. Again, that one will be up for sale or trade. The last game that I picked up is a game I've actually never seen before and didn't really even know it existed until today. I'm actually going to try and sell the other 2, get my money back so I can keep this one. Kirby Dream Collection, the special edition. And this is a really cool box for the Wii, and it's got this really cool, like, 20-year Kirby little logo on the side. Now, this one does come with the manual. The manual is a little beat up. You can tell there's a little tear right there, and then in the bottom corner there's a little bit of a tear, but hey, whatever. So here's the game disc, and I'll tell you what all the games are on it. And then it comes with this special disc, and this is a soundtrack, a music compilation soundtrack for the Kirby games. So definitely happy to have that. Like I said, I'm going to try and sell the other 2 games just so I can keep this one, kind of get it for free, that whole thing. But let me read the titles that are on this in case you're interested. All right. So it comes with Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Dream Land 2 for the Game Boy. Kirby's Adventure for the NES. Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo. And if you ever get a chance to pick up Kirby Superstar, it's a pretty awesome game. There's like 7 or 8 games in there, and it's pretty awesome. Kirby's Dream Land 3 for the Super Nintendo, and Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. So definitely looking forward to keeping this if I can. If not, I'll have to sell it. But one thing I just noticed that's really cool is that you can use this with the Wii controller, the Wii Pro controller, or the GameCube controller, which is, I prefer to use the GameCube controller whenever I can. It's like the best controller ever made in the history of video games. So, all right, guys, those are the pickups. Thank you so much for watching episode 10. As always, at the end of our episode, we give our shout outs to our new subscribers. So our first shout out goes to Matt Johnson. Thanks for subscribing, buddy. Matt was the one that sold us the Ocarina of Time Master's Quest that we picked up. So thanks again for subscribing. I'm actually really happy to have that. Second subscriber that we picked up since episode 9 is Aaron Dine. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Comment below. Be a part of our community here. And the last subscriber, YouTube has this thing where if you don't want to make your subscription known, then it just kind of comes in as an anonymous or an unknown. So our last subscriber is, an unknown subscriber. Could be anybody. Could be the guy across the street. Could be Wesley Snipes. I don't know. But whoever you are, if you're watching, thank you very much for subscribing to this nonsense that we call a show. And guys, happy gaming. And the last thing I do want to mention before I let you go is if you check in the video section, we did our first Let's Play. And everybody's got kind of their own little name for it. I'm calling mine Let's Play the Classics. Episode 1 is posted, or Volume 1 is posted. And it's Contra. and it was actually a response video to Jeff Mack and Z, who put out a Contra challenge. So if you guys want to watch me play Contra, it's down below. And I've already actually filmed a second episode for Let's Play the Classics that I will upload as soon as I'm done editing. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Happy gaming, and thanks to the new subs. See you next time. Peace.